When Kevin Durant, super talented, left Golden State, the speculation was one of two things. He and Draymond had issues, but more importantly than that, he never felt like it was his team, which it wasn't. It was Steph Curry's team. Steph was the heart and soul of a team. And that's why Anthony Davis is a great player. LeBron's the heart and soul of the Lakers, right? Like we all know that. And so there's four players to me in the NBA, and I've been on this thing. Poor Joy has to listen to this. I hate the MVP award in the NBA. Nobody knows what valuable means. There's four guys in the NBA to me that are truly valuable. They're talented and valuable. LeBron. AD leaves. Lakers defense is still number one. Chris Paul. Everywhere he goes, they win. Everywhere he leaves, they don't. Steph Curry. I mean, last couple of years, Golden State, when he hasn't played, it's the worst team in the league, statistically, record-wise. And number four, Jimmy Butler. You can't deny it. When Jimmy Butler doesn't play, this Miami team doesn't win. That's with a bunch of good shooters, Bam and Eric Spoelstra and Pat Riley. They don't win without him. He changes the defense. He changes the attitude. He changes the locker room. He changes the offense. Those are my four. Butler, Steph, Chris Paul, LeBron. Valuable. Great, but valuable. The rest of the league is just talented. AD, KD, Giannis, Kawhi. Toronto was good before Kawhi got there. The Lakers can be good before AD gets there. But I'm watching Brooklyn right now without KD, and he's going to be out for more weeks. They've won 13 of 14 without KD. They've won 6 straight without KD. They won again last night with James Harden and no KD. They have the best record in the East without KD. KD is AD. Talented, not that valuable. Talented and brittle. And the truth is, go look at James Harden since this team was put together. Who's the least of the big three emotionally unreliable? Kyrie. He's gone off the deep end several times. So I can't trust Kyrie emotionally. I can't trust KD physically. James Harden has become the Steph Curry of Brooklyn. He's the heart and soul. He's healthier. He's a baller. He gives you 82 starts. He never gets hurt. I get 35 a night. He's a little quirky. But now he's become a very good distributor as well as a great scorer. So once again, Kevin Durant is back into the same Golden State situation. Golden State won without KD. Brooklyn wins without him. It's not saying he's not talented. But when I look at Brooklyn, I can't trust the emotions of Kyrie. I can't trust physically KD. Who can I trust for 34 a night? It's James Harden. He's the Steph Curry of Golden State. He's the heart and soul of it. And I've through the years, I've gone back and forth on Harden. At first, I didn't like him because he just mailed in defense. And then I've come to terms with he tries. He's not very good. He's like Steph. He makes an effort. He's not great at it. But you got to give James Harden credit. Every night, shows up, plays hard. He's almost like Westbrook in that he's a total baller. The difference is he can change his game. He's become a very solid distributor. Russell kind of plays in a tunnel. Harden doesn't. He's got a wider prism. But when I watch Brooklyn now, they're flourishing without KD. If you're the heart and soul of a team, you leave, your team struggles. Miami Heat cannot win without Jimmy Butler. OKC now can't win without Chris Paul. Go look at the Lakers' record last 2 years without LeBron. If you leave and the team is better, it means you just fall into you're talented. That's what KD is. About 5 years ago, half the NBA media thought KD was better than LeBron. And I've been saying this for years. The second chapter on LeBron, the first chapter is, oh my God, he's amazing. The second chapter is, does that dude ever get hurt? I mean, LeBron's had one injury in his entire career. You can't be brittle and valuable. You can be brittle and talented. KD's out. Brooklyn's on fire. 13 of 14, 6 straight, best record in the East. He is not, once again, the heart and soul of his team. Maybe the most talented, he's not the heart and soul. Former New York Times sports writer, Fox Sports NBA analyst, my buddy Chris Broussard joining me now. So listen, I've always had this belief. There's about 4 guys in the NBA who are truly valuable. There's a bunch of talented guys. But Jimmy Butler, LeBron, Steph Curry, Chris Paul are talented and incredibly valuable. I mean, if you go look at Miami this year, as good as they are, they can't win without Jimmy Butler. The Lakers are winning without AD. AD is good, but he's but he's not as valuable as LeBron. And KD, we always thought was valuable. But the Warriors won without him. And now Brooklyn's won 13 of 14 without him. And Harden gives you 82 games. Harden's there every night. Harden has become a distributor as well. And it feels like, to me, much like Golden State, KD's the most talented guy, but Steph was the true heart and soul of the Warriors, and Harden feels like he's become the heart and soul of Brooklyn.
Well, yeah, with KD being out, he's obviously left the door open for Harden to step in and do that. And Colin, you're right. Everything that's going on in Brooklyn, and they would be great without Harden. They had a chance to win it, certainly to win the East, before Harden even got there. Okay, however, the reason it is working now is all because of James Harden. As great as Kyrie Irving is playing, and he's playing great, and it is because Harden stepped in there. Colin, 4 of his first 6 games with the Nets, he took 14 or fewer shots. Couple times, once he took 9, once he took 10. That unselfishness, everybody saw it. Everybody was waiting to see, okay, how's this going to work? This dude gets 24 shots a night in Houston. How's he going to fit in here? He goes in, he's taking 12 shots, 13 shots, and now the tone of unselfishness is set. And he's playing like a true point guard. Kyrie sees that. Wow. You know what? You be the point guard. I'll just be a 2, which is really fits my skill set better. And now you look at the way they play. The ball is not sticking. It is moving. Everybody's touching it. Joe Harris, Jeff Green, Bruce Brown. And now they're excited because they're like, hey, we're not just standing around watching the stars. We're touching the ball. We're getting shots. We're playing better than ever offensively. Now they're more eager to do it on the defensive end. And guess what? During this 14-1 stretch, the Brooklyn Nets are 14th in the league defensively in terms of efficiency. That's all they need. If they're adequate defensively, they are going to be just about unbeatable. I was talking to a scout the other day, and he said he doesn't see anybody beating Brooklyn. And like I said, Colin, it's all because of James Harden and the unselfish tone that he set. He's the best dual threat point guard in basketball, meaning scoring and passing. He's phenomenal, and I'm actually glad he's able to show off this varied skill set in Brooklyn that he really didn't show off for the most part in Houston.
When Steve Ballmer, the owner of the Clippers, went out and got Kawhi and Paul George, it was a crazy, electric, energy-filled press conference. Now we're a couple years removed from that. The Lakers have a title. They're winning even when AD is resting or hurt. And the Clippers have lost 5 of 7. And we've talked about this, is that when they made that deal, they were asking Kawhi to be a culture setter. And there's nothing that proves he ever did that in San Antonio or Toronto. He was just a mercenary, and he was great at it. And I look at the Clippers now, and they're not playing well. And I wonder if they were a little over. They thought Kawhi was something he wasn't, which is a great player, but not a verbal, vocal, build it around me guy. And it's becoming a reality for them.
Honestly, Colin, I think just about all of us thought Kawhi was something that he's not. Now, like you said, he's an all-time great player. He's a first ballot Hall of Famer and all of that. But we all thought he was going to go there, and all of a sudden they were going to be able to win the championship. Look, we'll see how this plays out. But his lack of leadership, Paul George's lack of leadership, they don't have a leader really. That is a major problem with them. Here's another problem with the Clippers. And you're seeing, and I'll compare them to Phoenix. There are guys in the league who are big, 6'6", 6'7", 6'5", whatever, who can handle the rock, pass it a little bit, and so teams put the ball in their hands and say, you know what, he can bring it up. He can try to be like a little mini LeBron and run the offense and all that stuff. You saw it in Phoenix with Devin Booker. He could do it, but it wasn't his forte. And they weren't a very good team with Devin Booker having the ball in his hands. Now you bring in a real point guard, Chris Paul, let Booker do what he does, and they're playing like they might become a Western Conference contender. Same thing with the Clippers. They put the ball in George's and Kawhi's hands at the end of games, And yeah, they handle it pretty well. They're both decent passers, but it's not what they do. They're not LeBron James with it. And now you see at the end of games, they have trouble closing. They're not good in the clutch.
No.
They go ISO one-on-one.
Yep.
And they know they need a point guard. They're not going to get him, but they need one.
Yeah, it's good. I actually thought this was a move. You know, the NBA's always got these kind of glue guys, and Milwaukee got P.J. Tucker, who's been good in big spots in the playoffs. And I actually thought that feels like get some physical guys who'll push around James Harden in the playoffs. That's what it felt like to me. I thought that was actually a nice addition for Milwaukee, a guy that's been in the playoffs. He's physical. He'll go out and guard your best guy. He'll get in your head a little bit. Like, I thought that was that could win a P.J. Tucker can win you a series that maybe you couldn't win before. I think he's that valuable of a player. Your thoughts?
He brings toughness, and you're right, and experience. The question is he the old P.J. Tucker? Now, he's been bad this year, 4 points a game, not shooting well from three, but he probably is unmotivated in Houston, with Harden leaving and all that. So I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. If he gets back to old form, he will help Milwaukee. You know the problem in Milwaukee, though, Colin. Giannis isn't a closer. And so at the end of games, he's setting screens for Chris Middleton and Dante DiVincenzo and Drew Holiday. And he'll get his 7 points in the fourth quarter, but he's doing it off putbacks and dump-offs and things like that. That's a problem for them, and it's going to be a bigger problem in the playoffs than it is even right now, and we've seen that happen over the last 2 years.
All right, Chris Broussard, Fox Sports NBA analyst. Good seeing you, bud.